Hi there everybody, welcome to today's maths lesson. Let's start off with a quick starter, shall we? Can you find 37 plus 12, 101 subtract 17, 7 times 8, 8 plus 2 squared divided by 2, and then 1/3 plus 2/3. If you finish all of those, have a go at my extension question based around runners on the right hand side. In your light blue books or on your mini whiteboards, please pause the video for 5 to 10 minutes and have a go at those questions now. Okay, I'm going to run through the answers. For the first one, if you've done a column addition, you'll have got 49. For the second one, if you've done a column subtraction, that would give you 84. For the third one, 7 times 8 is 56. For the fourth one, we need to use our BIPs or our BIDMAS. We start by working our indices. 2 squared is 4. So now I've got 8 plus 4 divided by 2. I do my division next. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So I've got 8 plus 2. And 8 plus 2 is going to give me 10. For my next question, my denominators are the same already. So to add those two fractions, I just add my numerators together. That's going to give me 3/3, which is the same as 1. Let's look at my extension question. I said Lily finished second out of 8 runners in a race. How many runners finished after the Lily? So if she came second, that meant one person came before her, then she came, and then there were 6 more after her. Max was in a different race. 7 runners finished before Max, 3 finished afterwards, so overall there were 11 runners in that race altogether. Okay guys, we're going to run through a diagnostic quiz, so a series of 5 questions A, B, C and D. Write down your answers in your rough books as we go along, and then I'll go through the answers at the end. Question number 1. What does the digit 6 represent in the number 45.16? Pause the video if you need some extra time. A, B, C or D? Question number 2. What is 4 times 12? Pause the video if you need some extra time. A, B, C or D? Question number 3. Which number goes in the missing space? A, B, C or D? Question number 4. Which of these numbers is 1,000 more than 46,000? Which of these numbers is 1,000 more than 46,000? A, B, C or D? Again, pause the video if you need extra time. And finally, what is the value of the underlined digit in this number? A, B, C or D? Okay, let's look at some answers. So for the first question, I've got my tens column, my units column, my tenths column, and then my hundredths column. The 6 is in the hundredths column, so it's going to be worth 6 hundredths, and the correct answer was D. 4 times 12 is 48, so the correct answer was B. For 3, this symbol here means that the larger number goes at the wider end and the smaller number goes at the smaller end. Therefore, 7,850 can go in the gap. For this question, I've got 46,000. If I add on 1,000, I end up with 47,000, so the correct answer was D. And for question number 5, the value of the underlined digit, well, we've now got the thousands column, the hundreds column, the 10 and the unit. The 8 is in the hundreds column, so it's worth 800, and the correct answer is B. The aim for today's lesson is going to be creating 4-digit numbers and putting them in ascending order. So to start off with, what does the word ascending actually mean? Now if I'm ascending the stairs, that means I'm starting at the bottom and I'm working my way up. So we're increasing, we're going up. We start with the smallest and we're going up. So if I've got 2 numbers and I want to work out which one's the smaller and which is the bigger, I start by looking at the thousands column. So I start on the left-hand side. I've got 3,132 and 3,134. They've got the same number in the thousands column, so I don't yet know which one's the bigger one. I then move on to the hundreds column, and I say, well, they've both got the same number in the hundreds, so I don't yet know which one's bigger. I then move on to my tens. They've got a 3 in the tens, both of them, so again, I don't know which one's bigger. But if I compare my units, this one's got a 4 and this one's got a 5, so we know that 3,135 is the larger number. On your mini whiteboards, please pause the video for 30 seconds, which is the higher number, 7,345 or 855. Pause the video and write down your answer now. Okay, let's compare them. I've got 7,345 and 855. So when comparing, I start by looking in my thousands column. This one's got a 7 in the thousands column, so this one's going to be bigger. The other one's got a 0, so that's going to be smaller. The larger one is 7,345. How about this one? Pause the video for a minute or two and work out which is the larger number. Okay, let's compare them. I've got 779 with an imaginary 0 on the front because I've got 0 thousands in it, and 1,668. I start by comparing my thousands. This one's got a 1 in the thousands column, so 1,668 is the larger one. Okay guys, pause the video for a minute or two. Which of these two numbers is the larger number? Right, let's compare them. I've got 1,030 and 1,129. Now this time when I'm comparing them, they've both got a 1 in the thousands column, so we can't yet tell which one's bigger. However, this first one's got a 0 in the hundreds, whereas the second one's got a 1. Therefore, 1,129 must be the larger number. Okay guys, can you pause the video for 5 minutes or so, and in your rough books or on your mini whiteboards, put these numbers in ascending order from smallest to biggest. Okay, I'm going to run through the answer. I'm going to start by putting all of my numbers into my place value table. Making sure if I've got a 3-figure number, I put a 0 in my thousands column. Now I want to find my smallest number first. Well, these two numbers have got a 0 in the thousands column, so I know it's going to be one of those. They've both got a 1 in the hundreds, so I don't yet know which one's smaller. They've both got a 3 in the tens, so I don't yet know which one's smaller. However, this one's got a 9 and this one's got an 8 in the units. So 138 is the smallest. And the next one is 139. Let's look for the next two pairs. Well, these two have both got a 3 in the thousands column, so we know it's one of those. The next number is 1 in the hundreds, so we don't yet know which one's smaller. They've both got the same number in the tens, however this one's got a 2 in the units and this one's got a 4. So we know 3132 is slightly smaller, and then 3134. Let's compare our final two numbers. They've both got a 4 in the thousands. However, this one's got a 0 in the hundreds, whilst this one's got a 1. So we know that 4,033 is slightly smaller, and then 4,136 is the largest, ascending order from smallest to biggest. Okay guys, I've given you 4 digits, 3, 0, 5 and 8. And I want you to create as many different 4-digit numbers as you can by rearranging those 4 digits. Helpful hints: if you start with a 0 and then put the other digits in, like 358, that's no longer a 4-digit number, okay? That's a 3-digit number in disguise because the 0 gives you nothing for your thousands, so that's just 358. So I cannot include that. However, what I can include, for example, would be 5,830. That's using all 4 digits. So pause the video and spend 10 to 15 minutes. How many different ways can you rearrange those 4 cards to create 4-digit numbers? And then work out who's correct. Is it this lady who says there's 24? Is it this guy who says there's 18 ways? Or is it this guy that says there's 16? One of them's right. Pause the video for 10 minutes and have a go at that now, please. And these are the solutions I came up with. I started by looking at all my numbers with a 3 in the thousands column, and I came up with 6 of those. I then looked at all the numbers with a 5 in the thousand column, there were 6 of those, and then all the numbers with an 8 in the thousand column, and there were 6 of those. Altogether there were 6, 12, 18 different ways of doing it, and the man in the middle was right. Okay, I'm now giving you 4 different cards, 3, 2, 1 and 8. And I want you to arrange those in as many different ways as possible, starting with the smallest and then increasing upwards, so in ascending order. How many different ways can you make, how many different numbers can you make from those 4 cards? Pause the video for 10 to 15 minutes now and have a go at this in your light blue books for me. And these are the answers I came up with. I did it in a systematic way again. I did all my thousands first, then I moved on to all my 2,000 numbers, then on to all my 3,000 numbers, then on to all my 8,000 numbers. So I've got 1238, 1283, 1328, 1382, 1823, 1832, 2138, 2183, 2318, 2381, 2813, 2831. Then from the 3000s, I had 3128, 3182, 3218, 3281, 3812, 3821, 3823, 8123, 8132, 8213, 8231, 8312, and then finally the largest number was 8321. So altogether I came up with 6, 12, 18, 24 different ways I could rearrange those numbers. And that's the end of today's lesson. Please can you head on over to Google Classroom and submit today's exit ticket on there. Follow the link and insert your answers. They are A, B, C and D questions, and then I can go through and mark it and check your understanding for today's lesson. Thanks very much for listening and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.